Hey everyone, it's Jackie here. Welcome back. Today we're going thrifting in North Berwick. I previously uploaded a video on my day trip to North Berwick, but this is particularly about the thrifting that I did. So first off, when you get into the North Berwick train station, you want to take the west exit, and then you'll be able to find the Reuse Scotland store. And oh my gosh, this is one of the best thrift stores I think I've ever been into in my life. It's got so many beautiful items. So let's head in and let's get started on the thrifting. First thing when we stepped in is just there's so many knickknacks, and there was a sale on today with all our half priced reduced to clear, which is quite a big deal. So hopefully we can find some art we like today. They've got some explanations on the donations you can do, and there's just all of these little knickknacks to look at when you first walk in. There's 3 rooms in this place, so we're going to head into one of the first rooms. So the first room over to the right is kind of a toys section. So we've got like this Terminator statue here. There's quite a few little toys around as well. There's the hula girl, which I was trying to work out if she shakes, but she sadly, I think she just shakes left to right, which isn't really what I want from my hula girls. And then over here is where I always head, the board game section. So they've got Buckaroo, in case you're looking for that. That's a great, I love Buckaroo from my childhood. So in my first thrifting video I ever did, I went to Edinburgh and found the Secrets of the Tomb board game. And I always check on Board Game Geeks if these games are any good, but sadly this one wasn't, so I had to leave it behind. But today in North Berwick, I found Takenoko, I think it's pronounced, and it just looked really promising. So I was like, we should take a look at this one. And it was a 7.2, which means it's actually a really good game. I was also just having a look at it on the back and seeing if I would like the gameplay though, because sometimes it can be a good game, but you're not really the target audience for it. And it looked really fun with like all the pieces and everything. But I did decide it was maybe a little bit too family oriented for me. But it was only £10 and we actually found them on eBay for £20. So it's actually even an investment piece. I maybe should have got it, but I just left it today. I didn't really fancy reselling. There was also this bucket of masks, which they were only £1 and there were so many different ones of those. So we obviously had to get 2 of these for our fancy dress box. And they're just such a bargain. Like I just had to. And so taking a look around the rest of the place, they have fondue sets as always. This one looks Le Creuset. I didn't manage to identify if it was, but if it's £20 for a Le Creuset fondue set, that's an absolute steal. There was this Stanley like hot mug thing jar, like it was £7, but it was kind of cool, like gave quite a retro vibe, which I quite liked. And just loads of cutlery and ceramic plates and jugs. This tea set I thought was really cute. And there were these biscuit tins, this Soldier and Big Ben biscuit tins, a bit weird. And then there was this iced gems McVitie's polar bear one. There's just like a lot of weird things. And I didn't really know what this item was, but it looked like it was a really good material it was made out of and quite vintage. And then there were these little pots on the bottom, which I don't think they were branded, but I loved the yellow of them. And then, oh yeah, my partner got out the thing that I didn't know what it was, and it actually is a mincer that you just wind. And yeah, I mean, if you go for like an industrial style place, that's very cute. But if you're looking for ceramics, this really was the place to come. This mug I thought was a little bit creepy and funny, but I kind of liked the chicken. I didn't like the child. But yeah, like the chicken side, very cute. The child, no. But I think it was actually a jug, which I didn't expect. I thought it was a mug, but it's got a spout, so I guess it's a jug. Um, and then yeah, there's just like so many ceramics here. Like this was another fondue set I found. This one's metal. I actually quite liked this one. 24 quid as well, but I keep being told I'm not allowed a fondue set. So there were also these clowns, which I think they were for sale, but like they had 2 of them, one at each side of this, just to like add to a kind of creepy aesthetic in the charity shop. But if you're looking for clowns, this is a great place. And this lampshade I absolutely love. I had to get a better look at it. I think it was £40 and I was quite tempted, I'm not going to lie, because I just thought it was gorgeous. But there were so many lamps here in general. If you were looking for lighting, this is the place to come. There was also this giant kettle that was square, and I think it's for one of those like square hob things that just get really hot that you'd put it on. But it was really cool and it opened up, and yeah, you could just make tea for so many people with this, which I thought was quite cool. And this clock was absolutely gorgeous, and I thought it was actually a steal for £45. When I'd ever been in Edinburgh looking at clocks, they were always so much more expensive. So absolute steal. And my partner loved this little scale that you could just move around. I thought this lamp here was absolutely stunning, and there's just so many like film recording items here, and I've one of those lamps over there too, in case you need a matching set. But yeah, there was just like all this camera equipment, storage things. My partner thought this giant camera was really cool, but it's probably a little bit outdated for making film these days. But it was quite cool. It was just massive. There was binoculars as well, if you need to see in the distance. There was also this cool little barrel that you could store beer or water in, and I thought that would be so cool for like hosting a party and having your drinks coming out of this. And this area just had way more ceramics. I love the ladies in the hats at the top. There was some quite haunted egg cups around here. I don't know what the designer was going with these, but if you're looking for a hunt, that's funny. But those chicken mugs were also in Edinburgh, which I thought was cool. And there was this little Pinocchio looking thing, and this weird candle holder guy, which kind of a vibe. I don't know if he's like a religious item though or anything, but quite cool anyway. I quite liked him. And then this here is a Singer sewing machine for 35 quid. It's a hand-turned one though. So you had to crank it with your hand like this. I thought it was really cool. I don't think it would be for me, but like the aesthetic of it is kind of just a statement piece in its own. So kind of as a decoration, but it's also functional. But yeah, I don't know how people back in the day would manage to sew like this. It must have took so long. But yeah, quite the vibe while you're sewing, I thought. And then over here, there was all these jewelry pieces. It was mostly brooches here, which is not really something that I really wear, but they were very cute, some of them anyway. And I guess you could like doll up some of your like bags or coats or something with them, or if brooches are your thing, 100% go for it. There's like quite a lot of jewelry in general in this store. So over here there was some earrings. I thought these were actually really cute. But I get quite allergic reactions from quite a lot of earring materials, so sadly can't take them with me. They're quite cute rings. Yeah, the rings were actually quite stunning. And yeah, this section was quite big for a jewelry section. I don't think I've ever really seen one in a thrift store this big. I actually really liked the bracelets as well. I was thinking maybe I should get this one because it just looked really cute and they look quite modern, which I didn't really expect for a thrift store. But yeah, they're just lovely. Like, yeah, back to these rings. Like, look how cute these are. So good. I'm not really a silver ring person myself, but they were adorable. And then there was this little cat thing, which had the areas where you're allowed to stroke a cat, which as a cat person, I was a big fan. And then there's some marbles back here and just like lots of things going on, lots of things to look at. The necklaces were cute too, so a good place to pick up jewelry. I loved this umbrella stand table. I thought it was so cute and it was £52 and I was honestly tempted. I don't know what it is about me and furniture, but I just loved it. Absolutely stunning. I was so tempted by it. And then over here, there was these scales, which I thought were so cute, and this little man statue, which is cute as well, but the scales were really where it was at. This tea set was adorable, and yeah, there's just so much here. Like all these pots are so, so cute, but that tea set was stunning. Kind of creepy child statue again. Not a fan. You can probably get this as one of my themes. This clock was quite cute as well. Yeah, there was just so many cute things in this area. And this is the third room to the right, and it had most of the artwork. So if you were looking to get something in that sale, this would be the place to find it. But what I did find instead was a ship in a bottle, which I have never actually seen one of these in person, not in a shop. And this little tea set was so cute as well. And I liked this mirror on the side and this chair. Like, there's just so many gorgeous things. And then there was this little mini Singer sewing machine that was again a hand crank one, but it was mini, so it was extra cute. This was a big box of artwork to look through, and there were these head statue things that you hang on the wall that I quite liked the vibe of, and a metal like tea container down here. And yeah, just this is all of the art that's hanging up. They put the best pieces up, and a lovely reminder that it's half price in case anyone missed the first sign. And there were some rugs down here as well, which I thought were really cute. And yeah, there's just so much in this place. Like, I just love this shop so much, as you can tell. I thought this little trinket tray was adorable as well. Like, all these ceramics on the table, little statues. This was like a horn or a tusk or something for £7. I thought that was a very cool piece. Another one of those Singer sewing machines. They seem to be scattered around here, but I've never seen them before in any other thrift shops, so I don't know if they're a North Berwick special or if someone just owns a lot of them and donated them. There's a lot of little animal statues here. I quite liked the eagle. I thought it was a good vibe. And this little fire truck for £25, which I thought was such a unique little piece. I think if you're in North Berwick, you should definitely come here for statement pieces. It's so good for it. This typewriter I thought was really cool as well. Again, another great statement piece. The artwork as well. Like I quite liked some of them. Like some of them were not really me, but some of them were just like resonance style. There were all of these biscuit tins as well. There's quite a lot of biscuit tins in this charity shop. But yeah, here's some more of the art. I quite liked this little tribal one. I don't think any of these really resonated with me, but like they are quite nice and maybe they might be your taste. I thought the frames were very cute as well. I usually look for frames. I quite liked this one. It's a bit too British patriotic for me though. And this one I thought was a little bit strange. I kind of like the dark theme of it, like kind of old-timey style. And there were little mugs hanging here as well, so you might spot a mug you like. There's a little Edinburgh one there. Obviously, from living in Edinburgh, I have to spot the Edinburgh pieces when you go somewhere. Not always common, but in North Berwick, because it's only like 30 minutes away, it's quite common. The jugs here were also just really cute. Like, there's just so much to look at here. I love it. There was a pug painting, which a bit more modern style, and if you like pugs, perfect for you. It's close over some of the statues again, and my partner really liked this chicken one, which I'm not really sure what it was made out of, but it was quite cool. And again, a perfect statement piece for like a mantelpiece or something. So pick one up. This desk I fell in love with, and these little side tables. This area was just everything on it was amazing, but this desk, I wanted it so bad. He was not a bad price either at 65 quid. And yeah, just look at him. He's just so gorgeous. And yeah, the drawers, they didn't have like obviously any mechanical ways to pull open like the modern ones do, but I didn't care. It was too beautiful and I'm kind of sad I didn't get it, but we didn't have a way to uplift furniture, sadly. So he's still there if you want to go get him. These fish plates on this wall, I actually quite liked the vibe of them. You'd probably hang them on the wall or use them as some decorative serving plates. There was quite a big car collection as well. If you're a car collector, North Berwick seems like a very good place to get them. I'm not really the target audience for this. I was much more into those fish plates. There were some more kettles, and I actually really liked this serving thing. I think you could put like salt and pepper in it and maybe some vinaigrettes and like bring it to a table or out to the garden. It would be cute. This flower, I wasn't sure if it was Lego. I don't think it was, but it was sold. All of the plants in here have already been sold. And they had these possibly vintage ceramic lids, which I thought were really cute to upcycle jars. It's just so sustainable to have an item like that, but I really liked it. It's quite cool if they are vintage. And I also like how the charity shop wasn't sure if they were themselves. There was some more really nice furniture over here, and I think that's a lamp again, and really nice. And there was this plant stand, which I was actually in love with. Like the furniture pieces here are just so stunning. Again, the lamps. Here's a beautiful industrial style lamp, and 18 quid really is not bad for that. Like if you're looking for lamps, 100% come here and take a look. There's so many options and also artwork. But it's mostly this kind of oldie style artwork. There's some North Berwick pieces, a couple of Edinburgh pieces. There's a cute little mirror here as well, and a fur thing, which I wouldn't personally buy at a charity shop. And my partner loved this pickaxe. He thought it was a really beautiful item. I mean, it's very well made, and there were just like all these tools in this tool area, which again, not really seen in a charity shop before. It was like little satchels as well, made out of leather, and there were these little caster wheels to put on furniture, which I thought was really nice. They were very detailed and beautiful as well. And yeah, there's just so many tools here as well. So if you're looking for tools, this is a great place to come. They have some quite weird items as well. Like I think this is like a kind of bowling ball thing for like bowls, and there's some taps over here as well. So extra hardware things. And then this was the statement piece when you walked into this room. I think it's like a kind of coat rack. I absolutely loved it though. It was so beautiful. But obviously it had been sold because it's stunning. I kept thinking there was a mirror in there as well because it just looks like a mirror should be inside it. And I did like that little mirror too. And whatever this goat thing was, like, he's beautiful. He's a good statement. But again, he was sold. Like, I think items that good are just going to go really quick. I quite liked this. I wasn't entirely sure what it was. Maybe a bookend. And then yeah, there was some knickknacks, like a little tatty snow globe from someone's holiday, which is funny. And there were these little napkin rings that were fish and wooden. They were sort of pricey at £12, but I guess if they're like made out of solid wood and you're looking for something high quality, it's actually quite a steal. So maybe would recommend those if you do want them. And then here there were just all these little knickknacks with their own little holes. So if you're looking for ornaments or something, I did find quite a few of them to be quite haunted though. Like this man, no, I don't like him. I'm sorry. Let me know if you do. And I don't know what this duck is. It reminds me of the egg cups. I'm not a fan. But yeah, like there were some cute things in here too, but I just kept focusing on these kind of spooky ones. He's not too spooky. He's kind of cool, that type man. Um, this lady, if you like that vibe, again, not really me. She's not too creepy though. And then yeah, this was where the napkin rings were, and the fish ones, and it was also some elephant ones, but I definitely prefer the fish ones. I think in North Berwick it's also because it's kind of like aquatic vibes anyway. Some more ugly egg cups. I just really don't like these. If anyone likes those, please let me know because I do not like them at all. I thought she was a little bit creepy. She kind of looked like she could be in a horror film. And this one maybe less so than the other one, but the other one just gave the horror vibe. I think these guys actually match that candle holder I found earlier, and I quite like how they look. That little trolley car. Oh, I love him. He's very cute. But yeah, just like there's so many knickknacks to look at. Some cute little birds and mice, like the animal statues are here. I do love that chicken, that green chicken. He's a vibe. I maybe should have got him actually. Now I think about it. There's another one of these kind of man statues, but he's quite big. I think he might be bigger than the other one. And there were these two little like clown creatures here, and yeah, dolls in a basket. Some of this is when I started filming the creepier items of the store. I don't like that doll at all. She really gives me a bad vibe. Um, but lots of other items in the store, absolutely gorgeous. You can see the furniture, those scales as well. Like, oh, there were so many scales in here. I think sewing machines and scales and vases and really nice like vintage lamps were so common here. But anyway, we were going to head to the other charity shops now. This one was absolutely massive. 100% go to that one if you're in North Berwick, but also check out the other ones while you're here. But that one is the best one that I saw. But I've got a few other things that I found in the other charity shops that I want to show you in this video. So that's what the rest of this video is going to be. In the first one, I found this really cute marble chariot style statue, which I quite liked. And there was also this teapot, and it just kind of stole my heart. He was actually really heavy. Like it looks like it would be made out of a light material, but it was actually ceramic and hefty. And I just thought he was absolutely adorable. And then, yeah, there's just like standard charity shop stuff, like the secret book and stuff. Some more ceramics. It wasn't as good as the other one. This other one though had these really cute teapots. I think Albert Museum teapots. So I think they're like a very well-known brand, but it was £12 for a teapot. But they're very cute. I love finding cute teapots in charity shops. There's usually so many. This one I thought was stunning as well. Look how jazzy he is. And then all the little teacups to go with them as well, and then some glass animals. And I thought that teacup was very cute too. So in the same one on the other side, there was a lot of glassware. There was a slightly creepy statue, which I didn't like, of course. Um, and then there was another like woman statue thing, which I think is just like a holiday souvenir. And this little dress thing, this is a jewelry stand. And I used to have one of these as a kid. So it was kind of given nostalgia, which I quite liked. But yeah, there was quite a good selection of ceramics in this one, and this mirror down here I actually really loved. He was, I think, around 30 quid as well, which is an absolute steal for a mirror like that. And then yeah, there was some tins up here, and I quite liked that lamp, even though it's got a statue on it. It was kind of a good vibe. This one had like a karate toy section. This was a very weird charity shop. This is one off the side of the high street. There's like a Malibu coffee cup and then loads of records at the back. There were teapots. There was that's very similar to the McVitie's biscuit tin we found there, that polar bear. And there was one of these shoe sizes, which I think is actually a useful item to not get blisters. There was someone's like medal collection on a picture frame. This one was very unusual. And then lots of army soldiers, like from Toy Story, were in this basket. So if you're in the lookout for those, that was a great place to pick them up. Some more toys on this side. And yeah, this one was an experience. This last one, it was quite cluttered, but there were probably quite a lot of gems in there. some sports equipment on the floor, billions of records. Like it was mostly a bookstore, this place, as you can see. Like there's just books absolutely everywhere. But there were a lot of records and some random knickknacks. But it's probably mostly a bookstore to go through. Um, I wasn't looking at books today, so I didn't dive into them. But if you're on the lookout for a vintage book, I definitely recommend checking this one out and North Berwick in general, because there's quite a few others. There was a car collection in the window again. I feel like quite a lot of people must like collecting cars, or maybe it's for their children they want to buy cars for, and that's why all these shops have them. And there was just a lot of knickknacks over here. I thought this one in particular was a haunted shelf. Like, what are these statues? I don't like them. The animals at the bottom were kind of cute, but this area up the top, no, I didn't like those statues. But anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. And if you'd like to watch my other North Berwick video, it's given here, and also my Thrifting in Edinburgh video if you haven't seen that. But thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. Bye for now.